Hey, what's going on, everybody? I missed you. I'm sorry it's been so long since my last video. I've just been very busy with moving, and it's just a really busy Frisbee summer overall. But I'm gonna hopefully get more back on track with releasing a video once a week. That's my goal, at least. And with some of those videos, it's going to be an AUDL preview like this one, and other ones are just going to be more generic Frisbee strategy videos like I posted before. So yeah, if you have any suggestions on things you'd like to see, I know I've seen a bunch of comments for defensive stuff, so that's sort of what I'm planning on tackling next. But yeah, the more specific of what you'd like to see, the better. Always leave them in the comments. I love reading the comments, love seeing what you guys want to see. So yeah, and the last point that I wanted to make in this is that I've been doing some virtual coaching with a handful of people. And sort of how that works is they will send me in some film and video of themselves playing on their teams, and we'll sit together and sort of talk about some things I think they can improve on, some things that I think they do well, and just give them some overall tips on how they can improve as a player. And yeah, I've been really enjoying it. I think the people that I've been doing it with have gotten a lot out of it. So if that's something you're interested in, there will be a link to a form that you can fill out. Shouldn't take more than a minute or two. And yeah, so that's all I really wanted to say. And without further ado, let's get into it.
Hey everyone. In this week's AUDL preview, we will be covering a potential playoff matchup between two of the best teams in the West. The San Diego Growlers have ruled the West for the past few years, but the newcomer Colorado Summit is the only team to remain undefeated in the Western Division, and they are the current 1 seed. This game will feature some of the biggest names in the AUDL, including former MVP Jonathan Nethercutt. Last season, Nethercutt helped lead the Growlers to a Final Four appearance, and he is now a big reason why the Summit are currently undefeated. Unfortunately, rumor has it that former league MVP Jonathan Goose Helton will be absent this weekend, so Travis Dunn is going to have to carry an even bigger load as a distributor and finishing cutter for the Growlers to have a chance. Both of these teams have athletes on both sides of the disc and like to air it out to their speedy cutters downfield. We will get into what both of these teams do so well and some potential adjustments they can make to slow down these powerful O-lines. First, I will break down the Colorado Summit. Being a brand new team this year, lots of fans didn't know what to expect out of this team. Their performance so far has been impressive, and their style of play has quickly become one of my favorites to watch. The quarterback on this team has been Jonathan Nethercutt, otherwise known as Nut. Nut has a long history of being one of the best deep throwers in the game. With this team, he has plenty of fast and athletic cutters to go track down his big throws. The Summit's favorite deep target this year is Jay Frood. Frood is a Texas transplant that has become one of the most versatile athletes in the game. He has elite foot speed, and he is known for skying above his weight class. The Summit's aggressive play style is what makes them so fun to watch. From their cross-field blades to their deep shots to space, they are unafraid to boost the disc to their receivers. The Summit could get themselves into some trouble, though, if they're facing an elite defense. They like to play a loose, aggressive style, but sometimes that can turn into some loose, high-volume turns. Earlier in the season against Salt Lake, the Shred had an elite downfield deep defender in Joe Clutton, who is one of the few who can outmatch Frood in the air. The Summit had to learn the hard way, and it took them multiple efforts before deciding to stop testing him. Luckily for them, Frood has become a great thrower and is perfectly capable of making the adjustment and doing damage from the backfield. Having Nethercutt's flick along with Frood, who is a lefty who also prefers his flick, makes this team difficult to mark. But in my opinion, you have to go backhand against this team. Nethercutt is as good of a thrower as there gets, but you're more likely to get turns by forcing him to his less dominant throw. In order to slow down this explosive offense, look for San Diego to implement some smart lane poaching and double teams to throw Colorado out of their rhythm. San Diego also has a talented deep defender in Steven Milardovich. Look for him to be guarding Jay Frood for most of the game, as well as getting his hand on some of Colorado's cross-field throws. Now on to San Diego. There will be a big hole in the machine that is the San Diego offense. Goose Helton, who might be San Diego's most talented player, is out this weekend. The Growlers heavily lean on Goose to facilitate the offense through excellent cutter-to-cutter continuation. He is one of the most talented huggers in the game right now. Without him, the Growlers will have to heavily depend on Travis Dunn to fill his role. Luckily, Travis Dunn can really do it all. He is best known as an elite finishing cutter, but he has become an excellent hybrid who is perfectly capable of coming backfield and playing small ball. I especially like how the Growlers play with Okita, Dunn, and Lally near the end zone. Lally has recently transitioned into a rock of a center handler for this team, and he plays really well off of Okita. One thing this offense does so well is leaving a lot of vertical space for cutters to run into. Look for the Colorado defense to try and muck up some of this space. San Diego has a history of struggling with intelligent poaches. Both of these teams have very similar playing styles: big throws, athletic cutters, and fast-paced. Both of these teams leave something to be desired on the defensive end. Both D-lines can struggle to get blocks, and even when they do, they can't seem to possess the entire length of the field. Look for these defenses to implement some smart lane poaches and perhaps even some half-field pulls to shorten the field for these offenses that like to air it out. This is a strategy that I think should be used more often in the AUDL. This is certainly going to be a highlight-heavy game, and I'm excited to watch these two teams battle it out for the best in the West, live on FS2. You can watch this game too on AUDL.tv, and I will link it in my description. You can watch almost every regular season game from your favorite team from any screen. That's all for this video, and thanks for tuning in.